Erik and Wade, throwing bets like haymakers. UFC fight night, no faking these heartbreakers. Punch stats, bankrolls, the scorecards never fold. 8 off 21 sports talking bold like this catch and goal. Like check, Eric saying underdogs got swagger. Wade counter champs got a clan and jaw won't stagger. Money on the line, bets as sharp as a dagger. Hot cops, bling, flashing lights, heavyweight bagger. 8 off 21, clash of minds, no surprise. Erik and Wade in the ring, shouting hard, shooting high. Fight night dreams, cold cash gleam in their eyes. Betting broad, UFC calls on the podcast sky.
We have reached part of the podcast. We talking some UFC 327, and who better come on than the man, the myth, the legend, Wade, aka Proven Wagers on social media. Wade, how you doing today, my man?
I am doing pretty good. Getting ready for some evening baseball to kick off. So I'm excited to talk about this, man. We've got a pretty good card overall for this week. And actually, I think this probably could end up being the best card for the entire year. I don't know. I don't know how you feel about it, but from start to finish, this entire card is stacked with fights that I could be invested in if I didn't.
Yeah, I like this card a lot.
Stupid you really shouldn't bet every fight of the card, but I feel like I could bet every
It's going to be really tough for me not to go ham on this card. I have 3 bets. You have 3 bets. Last week, you swept the board. I went 2 of 3, and our DFS lineup cash. You can't really fucking complain about that at all. 5 and 6 did last week, and DFS lineup cashing in the 50-50. So let's go ahead. Let's jump right into it. Your first bet, my friend.
Yeah, I'm going to be looking here at the Kevin Gastelum versus Vicente Luque matchup. Kevin Gastelum, he comes in at 21-10, losing 7 of his last 11 fights. He's not going to overwhelm you with volume, but he's defensively sound and does a good job avoiding damage. His fights tend to be more measured, especially as they go longer. Looking at the data here, 7 of his last 8 fights have gone the distance. Luque here, obviously, is the more aggressive fighter. He lands at a higher rate. He does bring more offensive output. But he also does absorb significantly more damage. And when he loses, it's lately been by finish, which is kind of my one worry here. And that is a concern against especially Gastelum, who can really draw him into exchanges where he takes just as much as he gives, and he could find himself with another KO loss if he's not careful. Gastelum's ability to just stay composed, control pace, this should be the difference here. As mentioned, he likely could find a KO shot, but with Luque coming off back-to-back losses and losing 3 of his last 4, I just believe we're going to get a smarter fight out of him here, where he just looks to find a finish himself or get his hand raised by the judges. I really don't think he's going to finish Gastelum, so I do think we're just going to see a back-and-forth fight, leading me to think this fight is going to go the distance. You can find best odds over on Novig right now, -112. It's like -125. Over on DraftKings. But Gastelum, he rarely gets reckless. He's durable enough to handle the pressure early, and I think if he just keeps this fight at pace, I think that we just get a back-and-forth competitive 3-round match here. I
agree 120% with that one. My first bet, I'm going to Suarez here, winning via decision +125.
I like it.
Grappling, still the ultimate equalizer in this straw weight division. Her ability to seamlessly close distance, chain takedowns, control opponents on the mat creates a nightmare matchup for Lupi. Now, Lupi, she has been great. She's active. She's tough. Her striking volume continues to improve, but this is a completely different test. She hasn't consistently shown the defensive grappling needed to deal with someone at Suarez's level. Once Suarez gets this fight to the mat, and she will, it's going to be suffocating. Heavy top pressure, strong positional control, and the ability to drain her opponent's gas tank over time. If Lupi is able to scramble up, that takes up energy over 15 minutes. That's just going to add up. Suarez bigger, stronger. She's faced higher level of competition in these stylistic matchups. So the path is clear. Control the fight, rack up the takedowns, dominant position. I expect Suarez to win the minutes, win the rounds, and ultimately cruise to a unanimous decision. I'll take Suarez here on the decision line +125.
I love it.
Next bet, my friend.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the Blades Josh Hokett fight. Curtis Blades enters here at 19-5 with one of the most reliable skill sets in the heavyweight division, which is pretty trash at this point in 2026. His wrestling is really his identity. He's averaging over 5 takedowns per 15 minutes. And when he does commit to getting his opponent down, he's usually pretty successful. Hokett, obviously he's been all over the news, all over the internet. He's a very polarizing figure. He's 8-0. He brings aggression and volume into this fight, and that's kind of just who he is. That said, I just think this matchup is going to be the toughest fight of his life, and the UFC did him no favors by giving him Blade so soon. Hoka does throw at a higher rate on the feet, but I think that plays directly into Blade's strengths. If he can close the distance, I think he can get him down on the ground. I just don't know if Hoka is going to be able to deal with sustained grappling pressure, especially early on when both fighters are dry and it's easier to kind of grab on and latch to your opponent. Blades has faced much higher level of competition, which is mainly one of my biggest reasons for this pick. He's shown he can control experienced heavyweights. I mean, even looking at the numbers, I think his ability to dictate where the fight takes place is going to be key here. Hoka's takedown defense does look pretty strong on paper, but I just think this is a completely different level of fighter, and I think Blades is going to be able to find enough control time and find enough damage to get his hand raised here if he doesn't find a finish.
And I think this is, I mean, he's had a handful of fights. Now he's facing the 5th ranked guy.
Yeah, so Curtis Blades, money line, best odds, what, -115 over on Nova?
I think this is just too much too soon. You know what I mean?
It is. It is.
And like he was weird on the weigh-in. Like it was really
I mean, he's like that. He was trying to start a fight with Yuri Prohaska too. So I don't know what's
weird. Fuck, man. My next one, maybe I'm Johnny Chalk here, going with a public dog. Give me Pitbull plus 230. After dropping his USA debut to Rodriguez, we saw a sharper version of Pitbull in his last fight against Dan Ige. Pushed the pace, mixed in some takedowns, showed that he can compete at this level. This is a really interesting matchup against Pico, younger, explosive fighter with a ton of upside, but we've also clean vulnerabilities, has power. We've seen durability issues, and he quits. We've seen him hit clean, then he just quivers up in a little ball. Pitbull's experience becomes a major factor. This is a guy who's seen everything, former 2-division Bellator champion, finishes on the feet, on the ground, very high-level fight IQ. I expect Pitbull to start fast, mix in some striking with some level changes, keep Pico guessing. He doesn't need to dominate. He just needs to capitalize on mistakes. And if Pitbull leaves an opening, Pitbull has the power and precision to make him pay. At plus 230, you're getting a proven finisher with championship experience against a fighter that's shown cracks. That's value. And Pico's showing he'll quit. He gets hit and he just quivers up, dude. And I mean, Pitbull's got the power. Obviously, if you really want to get spicy, you can break your bet up. Half a unit on the KO and half a unit on the money line. But I'm just doing the straight money line at plus 230, excuse me. Next one, my friend.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Paulo Costa Azamat Mirzakhanov fight, and I'm going to go with the Costa money line here, plus 186, best odds on Novig. I think he's sitting around plus 170, 175 on most of the major sports books. Really going against Mirzakhanov and Josh Hoka. Both the last two fighters here both have still yet to lose a fight, and usually these are pretty good spots. Like as I said last week, and we did cash Ewing as he gave Esteban his first loss, and I think what Mirzakhanov's coming in here at 16-0. Obviously, he's one of the more consistent finishers at light heavyweight, and he's a very scary fighter to go against. Honestly, he's come on the scene very quickly. And he's been knocking out everybody. He's compact. He's powerful. He does most of his work with his hands. He doesn't really do anything flashy, but he just closes the distance really well, Carries real knockout power. And most of the majority of his wins are coming by finish. Stat-wise, he's obviously the cleaner fighter. He's only absorbing 2.86 significant strikes per minute while defending at 60%, which is a big edge in terms of damage taken over time. Looking at Paulo Costa, he's the more active striker. He lands over 6 significant strikes per minute at a 58% accuracy, which is pretty accurate. And when he's pushing forward, he can really overwhelm guys with his volume. The concern here, I guess the big one, is the defense. He is absorbing 6.2 strikes per minute and while only defending 49% of those strikes, which means he is getting hit a lot in the exchanges that he does get himself involved with. I think the feet does likely play out on the feet here, and that's where it gets interesting. Mirzakhanov, he's a more efficient striker, but Costa is the more higher output guy. Costa also has the size and the length advantage, and I think the move up to 205 really should help his physicality of years of tough cuts at minus 185. So he's not going through a tough cut this week. I just think the way I see it, I think they've priced Mirzakhanov as the safer fighter because of his defense and his undefeated record, but Costa has the ability to push the pace, land volume, turn this fight into where output really matters more than efficiency. And I think he may be able to, if he can hand the power early, I think he could win by sheer volume, and they may just have equal damage to each other. But I think just the sheer volume and the striking. And maybe if he wins a few moments with the crowd, with the judges, I think he just going to win a close decision here. And I think the price is just too much. I don't think he should be +1, even 170. I think he should be more like +140, 150, if anything.
I like it. I like this one a lot. I'm going to the main event. Give me Olberg here +114. Love Yuri. He's one of the most exciting fighters in the sport. Style is chaos. Chaos comes risk. Yuri absorbs a ton of damage. I think his defense is kind of questionable. Relies heavily on his toughness and unpredictability. Dangerous against someone like Olberg. Olberg, exactly the opposite. Very technical, composed, extremely efficient. Lands at a high rate, defends well, absorbs far less damage. This fight likely stays standing, and if it does, that's a big edge for Carlos. He's longer, more precise, comes from a world-class striking camp. We've also seen momentum, big wins with his knockout statement win over Dominic Reyes. The key here is discipline. If Carlos sticks to his game plan, controls the distance, doesn't get dragged into a brawl, he should be able to pick Yuri apart. I really have questions about Yuri's chin too. I know that Pereira has been the only one to finish him, but he's older and that chin has wear and tear on it. He has the tendency to leave openings, one cure counter. That's all it takes. At plus money, I'm getting a more technical striker, the more efficient fighter. In my opinion, that's the better bet here. I'm going to take Carlos here at +114. Let's go ahead and pull up the old DFS lineup, my friend. Talk to me, man. Where are you looking at here, dude?
They have Pico, the
Pico
salary. Holy crap!
This, I'll be honest, this card is great because the value plays in my eyes are all mid-tier guys. Who's talking to you?
Everybody.
Okay. All right.
Oh crap!
Call me crazy.
I'm trying to think who was the safest on the card. I just
What thoughts on Club Swanson?
I think I favor him in the fight. I just don't know if it's worth it.
All right, so we both like Carlos, though, right?
Fucking old.
You like Carlos?
No,
Olberg?
I'm not. No,
All right.
I'm not sure. I'm torn on that fight. My article pick was Yuri, but I haven't put a bet on anything.
What about?
I think we both like Blades. Go ahead and do that. Price is fine.
Price is fine.
I like Suarez. I just think that fight. I think the safer bet for that fight is the fight that goes the distance more than just.
But I mean, somebody. We're gonna get the takedowns. We're gonna get the control time. I mean, Suarez makes a lot of sense for me. She's only 85, dude.
Yeah, that's fine. Scouring this guy, like I told you off air, man. I'm obviously I'm a big taco guy.
You like tacos? I like tacos.
I just don't know if he's worth the price. I think Radke's going to win. I think Padilla going to win. The Gamrot fight, I'm torn on. I think Holland could potentially win. Probably getting value with him a little bit. I like
Holland too.
Can we trust him?
I like the bounce back for Holland.
I like Brown too. It's just tough. I kind of like everybody. This is just tough.
You like Brown?
Brown and Holland are fighting each other. I just like Brown as a fighter in general. I
like Holland better than Brown. I think after 2 straight losses, he knows he's gonna win. I like Club Swanson a lot, dude.
Yeah, go ahead and put him in there. I'm fine with Club.
Where's he at?
He's cheap too. He's probably in the middle. They probably have that fight pretty even. He's right there.
All right. So we're 87. Now, if Kevin's fight goes the distance, there's a potential for him to score a lot. My issue with him is he's just such an unreliable fighter. Kevin Gastelum.
Yeah, not for 9,000. I think he's probably gonna win, but I don't know. I'm just so high on Taco. Is this the fight he's gonna turn back into a pumpkin on us?
All right, let's go Taco. You like Taco? I like Taco. Anything else here? Gamrot, Reyes. We got Carlos right here, man. At 8. Oh no, sorry. Anyone?
He's a maybe. Fuck. I think Yuri's just too experienced. He could get clipped. If that's the thing, if Olberg finds that's going to be the fight for real. Like if Yuri walks forward, because he's going to get hit.
Yeah.
If he can take the power, Yuri's probably going to end up winning in the later rounds. But if Olberg can hit him hard, he's probably going to take him out in round 1 or 2 or something. That's just like how I feel about it. So I don't know if I'm even going to bet on that fight because I just don't know. I don't know.
You don't know? Just don't know.
Like my thought is if Yuri wins the decision, isn't Olberg still going to score a bunch? Because he's probably going to get off a ton of volume unless he's just a standing stone and doesn't do anything.
That's true.
I don't know.
I like Carlos, man. Like,
what else? What else is down there? We only need one more person or 2?
We need 1. I mean, the whole board's open minus the top guys who we really didn't have any interest in. We got Gamrot, we got Reyes, we got Yuri, we got Carlos, we got Walker. Yeah, whole card's pretty much open. Thoughts on Gamrot?
I've been debating parlaying him, but then I know it's probably going to backfire, so I don't know.
Thoughts on Walker Reyes?
Ribovics is solid. Yeah, I think either one of those can knock each other out. Depends on which ones. Whoever's walking backwards is going to lose that fight, and it's just hard to tell. I might as well just go with Olberg. If he loses, I think he's going to lose later in the round. I don't think he gets knocked out. I just think, and his upside of giving us like a knockout points in the first or second round could be pretty high. I don't know. I don't know, man.
Blade, Suarez, Holland, Swanson, Taco, and Olberg. Wade.
Yeah, feeling pretty good about it.
I'd like to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule, coming on, talking a little UFC 327. Next week, oh my God. Gilbert Burns is in a main event next week.
Shut up.
Gilbert Burns is
Usually I look ahead. I haven't looked ahead this week.
Gilbert fucking Burns is in the main event next weekend. My kind of fight card.
Yeah, against Mike Malott.
Wade, thanks for coming on. Talking a little shop. I would say, why do you tell everyone where to find you? But you got some stuff going on with your X account.
We're still dealing with it, but I think by next week I'll have a solid update on that front.
But best of luck in your bets, man, and we'll talk soon, brother.
All right, you too. See you guys.